Hey now! This is Copy Who, and I'm your host, Paul the producer. Bienvenue al show. I don't know if that's correct, but that's how I started out. Here we go. I didn't pump myself up before I was doing this. I had all these things I was doing to prepare for this today. It's a little extra work today. I put a new table over here in front of me, and I'm not going to show you that part yet until I'm ready to debut that side of the room. It's not finished. There's not a second mic there yet, but it's all coming together. My cousin came over, and I thank him for helping me bring this table in here. I was not strong enough or man enough to do that myself. Oh my goodness. And things are out of order, and I don't feel comfortable about it. So I've reordered a few things. I'm just wondering right now about a couple things as I'm looking at this picture and feeling perpetually unsatisfied. That wall's going to be very hard to decorate. And so I'll cut to this really quick. We're not going to stay there that long, okay? See this? See this here? This is before the Rise TV comes up. That TV would have had that white wall's reflection in it if I hadn't taken out, because I took out the bookshelf that was there. There was a black bookshelf, and it covered up a lot of white wall there. So now I put a blanket, which is hanging up on this curtain rod I have up here, just so that it's dark and that it doesn't reflect for now. Somehow I got to get a texture on that wall. And so the big story of the day to me is, it was a little shocking, and I'm not going to talk about it that much, because the point is not here to be Mr. Conspiracy Theory. It's just to have a good time and feel good about things. But I heard that Tucker Carlson was abruptly let go from Fox News, and that doesn't confirm anything to me except for the fact that I think with a lot of things, he's much more of a truth teller than anyone else on the network, that's for sure. I'm concerned just because it's like, I've always said Fox News is a bunch of lip service, and Tucker to me was like the one sort of person over there that I like to listen to. Not that I always agreed with everything, but I do think he was decent reporting. And I don't care if you don't want to like listen to me because I have that view, like whatever. What can I do? I'm just supposed to hide myself from you because you can't stand a different view. Another little thing, I'm putting this water bottle here. I don't know how this water bottle is going to look when this thing goes up. I had like a silver tray that it was on, and that was just too loud and noisy the way it was reflecting. I'll try a black colored tray of some kind here to house these things, and we'll see how that looks. Not happy about Tucker Carlson. Not happy at all. I was watching Rollo Tomasi today for lunch, and I hear him talking, and he just, there's definitely some ego there, which is fine. I have ego. I'm not immune to ego myself. I do shtick, and he's not doing shtick, though. He's really egotistical, but sometimes I like to act a little bit humble in my approach toward these things. I feel a little bit slow today. This is the first glass I've poured with the new water container here. I found this thing at what do you call it? At an ARC thrift store. And this lady's like, "Oh, that's cool. You put tequila in that." And I'm like, "No, I'm going to put water in it, lady. No tequila." But I do expect when I get the tray over here, I will probably have I might put a tequila bottle in it next to it and offer it to people who come in here. But I'm not going to drink it myself, because I don't drink tequila anymore. Love that exclamation on the end of things that I say. I don't recall any of my dreams last night, but I do recall how interesting Succession was. And people who aren't into this are going to be like, "What the fuck? Why the fuck are you talking about this?" But because I relate to it on some level, the big wealthy magnate died, and the kids, the whole time dad was alive, they're all like, "Oh, dude, we gotta sideline dad and take over the business." They all wanted it. And now that daddy's gone, they're like, "What would dad do? What would dad do? Do you think that's what dad would do? We have to do what dad would do." And I'm like, you wanted to just take your father out of it And now all you want to know is like, what would dad do? What would dad do? But it has something to do with the magnate dying and stock investors being confident about where the company's going. But it's just really kind of funny and ironic when it's all about how you were trying to sideline him, take over the business, and instead now when he's gone, you're like all freaking out because you don't know what to do. Interesting story, though, I must say. So it's that time again. What time is it time for, do you ask? For flossing. Yeah. I am so busy for the rest of the day, I don't have any other time to floss. Yeah, you might say, hey, Paul, but before the show, one of your rituals that you go through is you brush your teeth, and it's true, I do that. Just brushed them a few minutes ago. And in so doing, I just think this is edgy. This is creative and this is edgy. People are going to be like rolling their eyes, and I'm like, IDGAF, what the F you're thinking of me by flossing in front of you right now. That's just what I do. And that hurt. Maybe I deserve that. Maybe that was karma, that I just hurt myself flossing a little bit. I don't deserve it. Now I have to cry it out for a second. Okay. Oh, my teeth are just pristine right now, and I really want to get this underway. So I'm going to just lead myself right into the moment of the show. Boom, boom, and boom. Yes, sirree, Bob. Why yes, sirree, Bob? Why not yes, sirree, Sally? Ah, rise. Rise. Inspire me to be the greatest. Inspire me to entertain above and beyond everyone else out there who does something similar. But who's really doing something similar to this? I copy all kinds of people. That's why I started the show saying, hey now today. Because that's basically what Howard Stern says. Yes, sirree, Bob. And again, I said yes, sirree, Bob. That's one of the habits I need to get out of doing this. It's really not that good, but that was almost like a completely flawless rise. Thank you, everyone. Back to the main lights. And this kind of looks cool here. I think if I had that little... I am copying this, by the way. This is another one of the gratuitous copies in here. And I'm even like, before I started doing this today, I was in my kitchen and I was wearing these glasses. I'm like, I need to get a pair of sunglasses with my prescription in them so I can wear sunglasses when I'm doing the show, and the prescription will help me read what the hell it is I'm looking at. I'm wearing these because I'm blind. Up to my face. You know, when things are up at my face, people will be like, look at this! And I'm like, get that way back. I respond to it like Dracula or something because it's like blurry and in my face and too much, and I can't deal with it. I can't deal. But I do like the look of this. This is a gratuitous copy. Oh, by the way, so was getting glasses with, sunglasses with a prescription in them. I want to be able to read, but I also want to be able to further copy. But the person I keep referring to that I'm copying is not, has not inspired what I want to do to this other side of this room here, to have other people, another person, at least one person sitting here that I'm talking to, maybe room for another person sitting on a little love seat, couch, sofa over here. So that's all in good time. That's what I'm doing. And I'm liking the process. Sometimes shows are hit or miss, and I've been drinking so much kava and kratom that I don't know. Am I addicted to kratom now, or am I addicted to the social atmosphere? I don't know, but I'm constipated. And it's because after I drink a ton of kratom and kava, it's like the kava is a diuretic and you start pissing like crazy and you're like, so I need to drink more water to compensate with that. It actually helps when I'm doing this show. I noticed I'm better off because I'm like sipping all the time, and it's like, good, drink a lot of water. The guitar, or the masseuse I used to have used to say, okay, dude, if you're playing guitar, drink a lot of water because that'll get you up to go pee, and you need to stop doing this constantly, strumming, because it gives you like carpal tunnel syndrome after a while, and you got to take a break from that constant movement. One time when I was younger, I went 8 freaking hours in a day playing guitar, strumming and strumming and strumming. I didn't even stand up from the bed to get up and go to the bathroom. But this is what's going to keep me, you know, from sitting somewhere too long. And I have all these other ideas I'm trying to get. So I want to get a computer that is powerful, a portable computer where it's powerful enough to me to edit. So what I've seen is I watched this video the other night, and they recommend that when you have a long form show like this, at the top of it, you have a little clip of the entire show where it's like coming up, a clip of the show. And then you show different clips of the show where you're acting silly or you're making a good point. And I think it makes sense to do that. It's just that I have to figure out the workflow in order to be able to do that and do it well, because I don't want to just put these shitty clips together. And those short segments might actually be good to put out on social media to promo the show and get people over here watching it. So I am getting more serious about the idea of putting it out there. I know I say this a lot, but I'm constantly, I feel like I'm on the verge, because once I have my kava, you know, and my kratom, I get these feelings of, what shall I call it? Clairvoyance, where I'm like, oh, I'm doing what I should be doing. This is the creative story of my life. I'm loving what I'm doing on camera right now. I was destined to sober up and do what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to try and call in some favors from some people I used to know in the past when I used to produce something, and see if they're willing to come on here and join me. There are several new things I want to try that I keep procrastinating to try, like putting a guest up on the screen here so we can see them, and I'll be like, hey, how are you? And they're talking to me live with their face on this particular screen over here. I've wanted to try that for a long time, and this software has the ability to do that. I've just been procrastinating because I'm just being self-absorbed here. And let me look at one more thing right now. So I had moved this out of the way, because what I did was I took this pad out and I rolled it backwards so that I could try to finally get it to lay flat for me. It's still kind of not completely flat in this corner, but it's certainly better than it was. That's why I had those books there. In weeks past, I went forever lazily not taking this thing out of here and rolling it backwards, but I rolled it backwards. I got a second one of these over there on the other table so that there's some kind of symmetry that'll be visible when I get that other person in here, that there will be some kind of visible symmetry. But that's all fine and dandy. What I think I should do is I think we should roll into parts of the show where I'm doing commentary on stuff. And my first bit of commentary is just an Instagram post from the new guitarist from Motley Crue. And his name is John5. And that was the same mistakes I get into these habits, and that's what should have happened when I come over there like that. It's okay. So I said the new guitarist from John5, and it was like, from Motley Crue is John5, and it's okay to give him an applause. He's actually an exceptional guitar player. So here he is. Here he is, strange, pale-looking man right here. John5 is his name, exceptional guitar player. Of course, he's flanked by Vince Neil right here, pudgy Vince Neil, and what do you call it? When some miming bass player, Nikki Sixx, and Tommy Lee. I give credit to Tommy Lee for being talented on his instrument. I give credit to John5 for being talented on his instrument. Vince Neil is a fucking horrendous singer, and he's done some pretty bad things in his life, although I do have an affection for the guy because he's been in a band that I've loved so much for so long. And so what I actually want to do is come over here and show you what John wrote. John5 wrote this. Let's see if I can get that up in front of you here. And what he wrote was, incredible week in the studio, absolute dream come true, playing with Vince, Nikki Sixx, Tommy Lee, Bob Rock. That's kind of interesting too. I think the old guy in this picture might be Bob Rock, the producer who produced Metallica's Black Album, the producer who produced Dr. Feelgood from Motley Crue. So I thought I pulled this aside because I thought somewhere here John5 actually said, I know for sure these guys play. And I was like, how fucking dare you say that about Vince? Because Vince, he does not play. Vince is embarrassing. He does not sing. He's the highest paid guy who sings poorly in the entire world. There are all kinds of amazing singers I see at karaoke who supersede him by a million miles, and Vince Neil gets paid millions of dollars a year probably on these tours now to suck complete ass And it matters to me that he sucks complete ass. I don't like that he sucks complete ass. So here's John 5. Again, he's an exceptional guitar player. I thought somewhere I wrote, let me just go to his other page here and see if I can find where he said, I assure you these guys play guitar. Unless he like decided to, that's why I pulled this aside, because he was making a comment somewhere about how these guys definitely play their instruments. So there's Nikki pretending to play in front of John 5. Yeah, good for you, Nikki. It looks legit with the gear and the bass and everything, but I'll believe it when I hear it. You know what the problem here is? Certainly, there's Bob Rock right there. Dude, man, worse for the wear. I remember him as the young guy who recorded those albums for these bands in the past. And it saddens me, actually, that Mick Mars is not in Motley Crue anymore. What was I going to say, though? As far as them not playing their instruments, as far as Nicky not playing his instrument, he's been accused of that lately. We have the right to speak. Don't you serve me with a damn cease and desist, because I have an opinion that will not be ignored and it will not be casually dismissed just because you're Mr. Rockstar. People love you. But so there's a song from Motley Crue called Same Old Situation. It's the same old situation. There's this part of that song where the bass is doing this walk down where it's like, and he's something like that anyway. Obviously, I'm not humming it properly note for note, but I'm bringing it up because I watched very carefully very many videos from Motley Crue last summer at their stadium tour with Def Leppard and Poison, and I watched at that part of the song when I heard and so like Nicky was just hitting one note going and that's what I think I've observed him doing a lot during these shows. He just plays the one fucking note, and I should have put aside a video not to play the sound, but just to show you how all he does is go and you never see him do much else. Like, there's nothing fancy about the way he moves around, but when you see John 5 playing, you see it. When you hear Vince singing, you're like, oh my God, he fucking sucks. Shut up. Please shut up. Sounds amazing on albums. And Tommy Lee, I know there was this controversy last summer when they were touring with Tommy, not being at his drum set when people heard something kick off. Sometimes you have recorded sounds that start a drummer out so that they can get that bass line tempo correct. And so I do give him credit for being an amazing musician and drummer. I've heard his solo work, and I like all these things he's done over the years with his art. I think he's kind of a jackass in certain respects in real life. And this is from a guy who used to idolize the shit out of him, but I've spent a lot of time reading books about the rape of the mind. And so, yeah, still finishing up a book, Letter to an American Church, and I'm almost through it, and it's really excellent. And I agree with it. And I'm not going to bore you with it here, but I want to move on. Let me just come over here, clear this screen for you so you can see a copy who, a copy you, a copy me, a copy poo. I just said poo because it rhymed, admittedly. Let's move on to what's next on the list, on the agenda. This is silly, and I look forward to showing this to you. I will come over here properly this time. Let me see. Whee! Oh, the mix was backwards. Damn you. No, we're coming back. We're going to do it properly. We're going to practice right now for your sake. We're going to mix that first and then move it over like I've been doing, because I've been getting in the habit. And when you fucking make a mistake and keep repeating the mistake, it becomes a habit. Same when you're playing guitar. Same when you're playing drums. Same when you're singing. If you're fucking up and you keep fucking up, it's going to keep being fucked up, and it's going to become fucked up permanently. You have to unlearn it then. And I want to keep mixing it the way you just saw me mix it. So every time I make that fuck up today, I'm going to correct my fuck up for you right here, today, right now. That's what I'm going to do. But I have a clip here from Batman and Robin, which is patently absurd, and I thought it was funny, and we'll just watch that, shall we? Let me reload it for you, and I will open the sound. What's up with the sound? Now, did you just see what happened? Okay, hold on,
Robin. Tight. I'll ease you back up to the ledge.
This is homoerotic here. See, now that's what's absurd. Watch just once again.
You all right, Robin?
Holy molars. Am I ever gonna take good care of my teeth?
True. You owe your life to dental hygiene.
Watch again. Watch what happens here. Robin gets... So Robin's falling. He's in free fall. And fucking Batman says, hey, catch this fucking boomerang with a string on it with your teeth. Like, that makes any sense at all. And so Robin's already in free fall. And if you ever studied Newtonian fucking physics, that's not even possible. Shit falls at the same speed. And so how do you throw the fucking thing down to catch him? But furthermore, it falls in his teeth. And if it caught his entire weight, I'm just saying that Batman and Robin do not have special superpowers, okay? They are regular men. They're just talented with all the money. Bruce Banner, is that his name? No, it's Bruce Wayne is a billionaire, and he uses those billions to create things that are like inventions that give him the superpowers. He's like a super inventor, but you can't just fucking catch shit with your teeth like that. Your entire body weight would rip your fucking teeth out if you did that, Robin. Do you understand? That's impossible. Crock of shit right there. Let's just watch the rest of this one more time, and we'll move on swiftly. Impossible, and it's absurd. This show from back in the day, so absurd. So he's pulling him up by his teeth. What a crock of shit. Okay. Thank God you had good dental hygiene. Fuck, this is absurd.
You all right, Robin?
Holy molars. Am I ever glad I take good care of my teeth?
True. You owe your life to dental hygiene.
Okay, that's it. We're done with that. Get these guys off my screen, you freaking weirdos. I'm just talking about whatever I want here. Lest anyone think that I'm only intellectual and I only want to talk about the manosphere. That is not the case. Sometimes I want to goof around. It's very warm in this room right there. I'm glad that I went out and I took my jeans off and now I just have my sweats on underneath because I'm beginning to roast in here. These lights and these TVs have been on and it's just getting freaking warm, people. But we shall move on very soon to what will be video commentary. What do I have next? Okay, this was something I put aside the other day on Friday. Jedidiah making commentary about these girls that I've had on here before, but I want to move on. I want to keep moving on because there are things I want to get to today.
I have hope.
Hold on. We're going to mix this properly again. I'm going to go like so. What? Okay. I fucked that up. In the right order, but it's not smooth like it was. I'm going to have to practice those things again. It's looking a little bright on here because Brian the Week has a white studio. But okay, here's the very annoying girl with the armpit hair who's, listen to how promiscuous she is. That's what this is about.
In different area codes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, I do actually.
Eric, can you boost
Emma,
the volume?
can you?
What
can
is
you?
that?
Yeah, no, I can attest.
Oh,
I
really?
believe my
Yeah.
best friend Emma, by the way.
there's-
Yeah.
Okay, so I just think, like I was saying the other day, I once again see these girls like this one here, and this one here, and it's not Halloween, okay? These are just people, they want to be taken seriously going around dressed up like clowns. I don't take them very seriously. And red flags all around. This is the one right here who's mad promiscuous. Let's just hear what she has to say.
There be a few on the roster.
It's a fun time. It's much better that way. I think it's better to keep like at least two people kind of in your thoughts so that one doesn't dominate your whole brain. You know?
So how
Pause
many
that for
people
a
are
second.
you?
Pause that. Do you see the
All right.
broken woman?
Let me
This
hear what
is a
you have to
broken
say,
woman. I
Jedidiah.
can't be. I mean, women.
Yes.
Women.
Because she's afraid of real commitment. She's afraid of really feeling something for a guy. So she wants to diffuse her attention and be super slutty in order not to have these deep feelings for a man. Carry on, Jedidiah. You probably say it better than I, ma'am.
Are broken. This is not a normal way for a woman to think. Women love tunnel vision. We love the idea that if you're not broken and shattered in a million pieces by modern feminism, you love the idea that you would be focused on one man, and you will love that feeling of
I could see
waiting
that.
for him to call.
See,
and
right.
it
So
being
she's broken because if she were really into a dude, she would be delighted to have that one dude and just dispense with the rest of it. So it's an excuse. She's showboating and pretending like she's not sad or lonely or something is what I think.
About him and looking into his eyes and feeling like you don't need anything else in the world except him. We love that. It brings us an incredible amount of joy, an incredible amount of security and pleasure and comfort, and we feel safe and all of those things. So any woman telling you that that's not true or telling you, oh, I need to have several guys so that one doesn't become too important to me, broken, shattered, wrecked. Wrecked by modern feminism.
I'll just let you
Red
say
flag.
that for me. What do I want to add to that? I agree. That's all I want to add to it. What can I add with my given limited experience as a man? Nothing whatsoever better, considering in this moment that you are a woman and you are more suited to speak for her in this than I. But I agree. I concur totally. I'm even willing to identify as a woman for 1 second and say, yes, I get it now. I identified, I agreed, and we'll move on.
Horrible to hear a woman say, I can't even. These even women. It's just like another species that's developed. It's unrecognizable to me, and it's horrifying. I have hosed
it's the generation.
Codes, she says.
This is what happens to the world. The progress is just like cheapening people. There's nothing classy about people anymore. So like, I'm disturbed culturally how fucking shallow people can be, and that's like, I'm sorry, but all the shows I watch in the manosphere, of all of them, whatever has the worst shallow women on it of all, in my opinion. And Brian is not the kind of man who brings them into a better understanding of their lives, where I feel like Myron from Fresh and Fit challenges these women and they kind of sit there like, huh, and they're willing to take it from him. And probably a lot of them become better people through a better understanding of something. Brian just kind of lightly goes like, he lets these women walk all over him too, which I find pathetic on a regular basis.
Oh, honey, your mother must be so proud. Let's keep playing, Deli. Same clip.
Yeah.
Seeing right now.
I mean, at the moment, like actively, I'm seeing one person, but I was seeing somebody else that I kind of lost interest for.
Okay.
But
Recently, you were seeing 2 people.
yes.
Okay.
And before that, like during COVID, it was like 6.
6 during
Yeah,
COVID?
it was fun. It was a lot of
Hold
fun.
on. Oh,
And
meow.
is,
She's proud of that, and it's so annoying. So let's go back to this black dude's face
Your
when
mother
he hears
must be
that.
so proud. Let's keep
Hold
playing,
on.
Deli. Same clip.
Seeing right now.
I mean, at the moment, like actively, I'm seeing one person, but I was seeing somebody else that I kind of
Watch.
lost interest for.
Okay.
But
During
Recently,
COVID,
you were seeing 2 people.
yes.
Okay.
And before that, like during COVID, it was like 6.
6 during COVID.
Dude, look at his face. He's like, oh man. See, that's not attractive. You know, it's porno stuff, sweetheart. Like, so believe me, that's an authentic reaction from that guy. Like, oh no, does he feel sad for you? Does he feel grossed out by it? Like, you're just like and she takes pride in it. Watch how happy it makes her to declare this. What the hell, dude? Stupid. Work.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and she said, so fun. It's a lot of fun. Being slutty is a lot of fun.
Is 6 the most amount of
Sad.
people that you've seen concurrently? Or has there been periods where it's been more than 6?
You know, I guess I don't really like think about it in my head as like, right now I have 6 dudes or women that I would like to.
Okay, pause it.
Pause.
Honey, maybe you should. You're
Pause
sleeping
it.
with.
We say pause because we're from Brooklyn. I just learned this about her lately. She pauses it. She says dog. Dog. Pause. Pause your dog from pooping on my carpet.
Then she goes on and gets into it. She's sleeping with 6 people at the same time. I mean, the barf bag has never
Pause.
been needed more. What can I use? This is filled with coconut water. Otherwise, I would reach for it. I'm not even gonna lie. 6
Barf bag.
people at once you're sleeping with. I mean, I don't even know what to say.
Well, that's
I don't
the subject
know what
matter
to
of
say
some
about
pornography out there, you know? If she's going to do that, she might as well be doing porno. I mean, is it lowering one more notch because if you're like doing that many guys all at once, you have no like self-respect anyway. I guess I'm SLUT shaming. Not sad to be SLUT shaming.
Can you imagine we're in a time when women talk like this and they think somehow this is going to be appealing? Like that guys in the audience would somehow look fondly upon you. 6 people at once. First of all, like, how do you even juggle all that? Secondly, what are you, 2 in one day? Well, we're going to find out. As it turns out, she had 2 sexual partners within 3 hours.
Wait.
3-hour time period. Somebody came, she had her fun, they left, and somebody else popped in a 3-hour time period. Oh. Okay, number 5, Deli. Let's play it. They need to hear it. 2958.
So,
sex doll in the picture, mind you. One that we want to know if it has been, what do you call it, used?
let me ask, in a 24-hour period.
2.
2 people.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Within
and
3
she's
hours.
so fucking
Within 3
happy.
hours.
Like, she's gleeful to say that.
What about the 48-hour period?
Why so happy to say
Can I
that?
ask, though, pause it again.
Probably.
Please, not to be a pain. Does she shower in between?
You're not the pain in watching this, Jedidiah. You are the balm. You are the painkiller. You're the kratom to my inflammation, making me feel better. I don't know where am I today? I'm spaced out. I'll tell you that.
Do you understand, like...
Slept well.
Think about sex for a second. Let's all of us just have that moment. You think about intimacy, this bodily stuff, sweat. You're pressed up against somebody. Oftentimes there's kissing, all of this very intimate stuff.
Yeah.
Is she like going to shower all of that one person off of her
Good
and
point.
then
Out of
hey,
her.
opens
Or like
the door
off of her, like off? But what about what's inside? And there's more details. We could get into more graphic discussions about what's going on here. It's disturbing.
else? Does that second guy know that she had round 1 an hour and a half before, an hour before? Does that first guy know that when he leaves, number 2's rolling? I mean, this is disgusting.
Shouldn't they have
stuff.
the right to know? This is the kind of thing that would super piss a woman off if she were going to screw a guy, and if she had any. Or are these just cheap guys who know that this is just to screw a cheap lay or whatever? To what extent is she emotionally manipulating these guys? Because that can happen too. You give a guy a tiny bit of attention and some guy's like, I love you. And I could totally see that this ding-dong girl is pretty enough for a guy to be all goo-goo gaga because guys are so wimpy these days. They get a little sex and they can't think straight after a woman gives them that kind of attention. So are we talking about guys who are just having casual fun, or are they being emotionally manipulated? Because that would not fly the other way around. I know that would really deeply offend a lot of women. A lot of women. A lot of them. It offends Jedidiah. She doesn't like it. She thinks that these girls are, how you say, putana. They are putana. And they don't charge for the putana service. They give it out for free. You're going to be a putana. You take the money. You buy yourself, is she an OnlyFans girl? I don't know.
This is your most intimate, private part of your body that could be utilized to make and then carry a baby, your body as a woman.
Do you think she cares
And
about
you
that?
have no-
I'll bet that girl's probably like abortion party type person, okay? Like, it wouldn't surprise me if she's had one the way she's talking. Screwing all those dudes in her fertile years. How could you not get pregnant? Unless you're like very careful about that. Hard to imagine she's careful. Let's get specific about that.
There's no sanctity to it. You just got guys coming in, rolling out, coming in. 2 guys you've been intimate with in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Soulless.
Pretty
that
gnarly.
is a soulless woman.
No,
There is something
she's not soulless.
so horribly
She's just
shattered
a
in
very
you.
sad person. That's all. At the root of this big smiling ding dong is a sad person. I would hope she gets her life together. Even if she should come to realize, hearing the comment of all the internet now that she's out there permanently. Can you imagine her having a child someday, and that child, if it were a decent person, coming and seeing, oh, that's my mom putting that out there, talking about these kinds of things? That's like dreadful. It's a total nightmare, in my opinion.
That you have no emotional connection to either one of those guys, and by the way, no self-respect for yourself and your own body, that you're able to conduct yourself in such a disgusting fashion and smile, by the way, and have like a filter over your eyes As if you're not even registering the severity of what you're doing to yourself.
Boom!
And what you're doing to everybody else. Even if those guys do know, how do you think they're thinking of you, honey?
Oh, yeah, you know what? I put that exclamation here for you, Jedidiah. You! Boom! Because you are hitting on all cylinders right now.
They think they're thinking of you. You think they respect you? If they know they're one of 2 and 3 hours? Ugh. What type of low-quality guy is going to go in and do that anyway, too? And I'm saying it, guys.
Oh, no, please.
Because you got to hear it, too.
Please. When I was younger, if I got opportunity with a certain type of woman who was hot enough, because I did have physical standards, I would have taken her up on that. And God knows, it would be risky. I did risky things when I was younger, but it was always with a girl who had a nice body. Let me think. All except one. All the women I've ever had sex with were worthy. If those same body types still existed, those are body types I would not hesitate to have sex with again, at least based upon my attraction to them. And this woman, plenty of guys are willing to screw a woman like that who's loose. That's what guys are looking for. But God knows, that's like a herpes petri dish right there. And I'm not saying that to shame her as much. That's one of the reasons why you got to be careful. I'm so glad I never got anything like that.
Sometimes guys with the promiscuity, you leave your head somewhere else. But if you're wasting your time on women like this, you're going to catch something, or one day you're going to wake up and be like, man, that was beneath me. This stuff should be beneath you.
Hey, you're right. And just to clarify, it's funny because I have a cousin who's experienced a lot of women, a great deal, more women than I have by many, 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 many multiples. And he, years ago, after I got out of my marriage, he's like, dude, you need to find a big fat chick and you need to screw her, dude, to build your confidence. And I'm like, no, dude, I can't screw a big fat chick to build my confidence. It'll lower my confidence. And I feel bad saying that. You know why? Because I know that there are heavy-set women out there who are nice people, and then they like look in the mirror and they think I'm saying something mean about them. I know there are fat women who have a pretty likeness and stuff. So I'm not saying that so coldly that I can just dismiss the impact it could have on someone's feelings. In fact, what I have to say about this girl on this video is more harsh than a woman just merely because she's heavy set. But true story, my cousin did tell me, dude, you gotta fuck a fat chick to get your confidence up. And and that would lower my confidence. It would not have the effect he's talking about. Making my confidence higher would be getting out there and getting with a woman of high value. And so it's like, why have sex with... I'd rather have alone pleasure time with myself than be with a woman I'm unattracted to be honest with you. Or one that would cause problems in my life. You look like you're about to sneeze. Achoo!
Yourself to a point as a man, by the way, where women like this, you wouldn't even give them the time of day. And that behaviors like this, you wouldn't even give the time of day. Because that's nasty at its core.
Totally nasty. Ugh. Thank you.
And the only way behavior like this changes, by the way, is if one, well, you know, maybe she needs to sit down and have a conversation with her mom and dad. It's been a while, it seems. And two, if guys stop appreciating this and stop engaging in it. You just should not be appealing to a high value man.
Good luck. Do you realize you're living in a fantasy world, Jedidiah? This is one of the rare times when I disagree with you. Horny men. Horny men. Actually, you know what? I'm going to close out on this, and I'm going to move on, because what I'm saying about horny men is going to play well into this next video. It's a video about our good friend Michael Sartain talking about how he's also on testosterone replacement therapy, and it's something I've been giving consideration to, but I think it's seriously unlikely that I'll be doing it. I'm just trying to mix correctly here now, people. Here we go. That was the right mix. That's right. Focus. Do things right. I'll come up to 30 seconds here, I think, was what I had put aside in this. Yes, 30 seconds. Inactivity lowers. So let's listen.
They have that issue. It can commonly stem from being inactive.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're not a person who's working out and getting your exercise in and lifting weights and doing squats or getting your cardio in, that can really affect it. But that's as far as I know about testosterone.
Yeah, I found that to be. I'm 44. That's probably the most life-changing decision I made in like the last 2 years. Was test.
Was what to get a test?
To get on a test. Yeah, I was down.
And so I'm concerned about this because I heard Rollo saying he's doing the right thing. So all you guys are in a club in the manosphere. You're like, you're all so cool. You're so masculine. And you're like, oh, I'm getting old, and I have my brand to maintain, and I want to keep getting laid, and I want to be able to pop off 10, 20 times a day. Oh. Is that what it's like? Or am I just mischaracterizing you guys? But seriously, my concerns have been... So this account that Michael Sartain gives in this video makes me feel like, oh, I want to be on it too. Like, he gives this account of it that really makes me feel like that could really help my life with the extra energy, sleeping better, having extra strength, and performing way better in workouts and stuff. And my metabolism, my belly shrinking because your metabolism speeds up apparently. Let's keep just listening, and I'll look at my notes because I want to see where I want to hear this. I don't want to go through the whole 7-minute video, but there are things I want to say about it.
Back up to 900, and I feel like I'm 19 again. So that part is pretty crazy. A legal testosterone replacement therapy from a doctor. I'm not talking about taking anabolic steroids, but there's just
what's the difference?
All right, so if you take regular test will get you. So let's just say, I'm just gonna throw out a number here. Your test was probably 850 when you were 19, difference. And then once you cross around somewhere between 38 and 35, somewhere in that area, your testosterone levels are gonna plummet. And that's why.
So if you don't have the right balance of the level of it, it's not going to impact you the way that it's supposed to. There's kind of like an ideal level where you get the benefit out of it. If you go too much, you diminish the impact you want with other side effects, I think. And if you have too little, you're not living ideally either. Let's continue, gentlemen. I'm curious about this topic. Not likely I will be doing this, but it sure does sound tempting when Michael Sartain goes on about the benefits.
That period, and I noticed, I woke up one day when I was 39 and I just, like, everything hurt, and I just noticed, like, I thought I had the flu for a year. I didn't understand what was wrong. I finally talked to a doctor.
I'm getting old. My body hurts me. My body, nothing's the same anymore, and I'm feeling old, and I'm feeling so sad about getting old. Join the club, dude. Join the club, Michael. It happens to all of us, no matter what. These are the seasons of our life. And I'm wondering if Arnold Schwarzenegger takes testosterone replacement therapy at his age and stage, because I know he has a heart issue, a definitive long-term heart issue, and I want to know if... I know that Sylvester Stallone has said on record, I think, that he takes human growth hormone, and both these guys look pretty robust and strong and in good shape for their advanced age, over 70 years old, both those guys now, I think.
I went to a guy to talk about it, and like, so personal records, for instance, probably the most I've ever bench pressed was 350.
So what I was going to say actually about the Jedidiah thing before is, men then, when you have higher testosterone and you're more amorous, you're more horned up all the time, suddenly you get a guy, when guys, this is the honest to God truth, when guys are horned up, they go through a state of mind where it's like, I don't care. The drive can become so powerful, and this is where like something like personal character comes in and self-discipline, not to just do it. So I'm thinking, if I were to take it, is it going to make me like more driven to go up and talk to that girl in the bar? Is it going to make me, like the same way drinking alcohol makes me make mistakes, am I going to have testosterone in my system, and maybe like I did when I was younger, I'm extra super horny, and then I go through and do something. I first heard like an 8th grade teacher when I was younger say, like, when men are horned up, they go through a state of, I don't care, when you're all like in that aroused moment. You're like, I don't care, I'm just doing this. And you forget about all these things. And then when it's over, you come crashing down. You're like, oh my God, what have I done? I've cheated, or I'm going to hell. Whatever it is, there's always this shame that follows because of the society and the culture we live in. And is that shame appropriate? And sometimes I struggle with this myself, like trying to discern between, is this really sinful? Like, I'm so driven for sex naturally, is it really just such a sin to want to like have that release. This is something I wonder about. This is something I struggle with sometimes. Tell me now.
Couldn't do it. That was something I did in high school, maybe in college. And then now at 38, I can't do it. I started taking tests, and I wanted to get my levels not super high, but back to where they were when I was 19. So I know that my kidneys and my body can deal with that level of testosterone.
And these fuckers with their full heads of hair. That's harsh, but dude, seriously, that's what I want, is a full head of hair again. And so a toupee is not the same, but I probably will wear one on here at some point as a gag.
It got up to 900.
Silver fox. And I think you, I see a little bit of silver in your hair on the left over there. And I want to know if you put any dye in here to get rid of silver in there. Tell us. It's your brand, right? It's a youth brand. You got to pretend to be something you're not. Get those testosterone fucking injections. Get those fake calf implants. Is that what, I doubt that's what you're doing. I'm just imagining like Johnny Drama from Entourage, because Entourage is real, just so that you know. Don't say that it's not. It's real. Entourage is fucking real. And Johnny Drama on that is like, hey, bro, will you give me $15K to get calf implants? And they're like, Johnny, you don't need that, Johnny. And he's like, yeah, bro. And he's going up to guys in the gym, and he's like, hey, can I ask you something? And they're like, what? Are they real? Or what real? The calves. Shit.
A muscular standpoint or performance standpoint that I could do when I was 19, I can do again now. Now, I still have a 44-year-old frame, like fucked up knees and stuff like that. But from the other standpoint, sleeping and all this other kind of stuff.
Fucked up needs.
Sex drive and the ability to just move massive amounts of weight. Like
and so all that sounds very tempting to me when he's describing those benefits there. Who doesn't want to be a stronger man, a more virile man? So I think there's a way to address it through diet and through activity. So I feel like when I am physically active and I work out, my body's producing more natural testosterone. I'm just saying. So it's anecdotal, and I'm not giving you receipts. I'm just making commentary on what this guy is saying. So I want to go to up to 4 minutes here and see where we're at as far as the topic.
And then you also, in some cases, see erectile dysfunction. That's what happens from the abuse of the testosterone and the anabolic. So there's a middle ground, and that's why guys
you got to find that ideal level.
Kind of stuff. I will tell you, I think there is testosterone's like vitamin C. If you don't have enough vitamin C, you get scurvy. But if you have too much vitamin C, then it just stops working for you. It doesn't really do anything. I think testosterone is like, if it's too low, it's a miracle cure.
I didn't know you could take,
like, for instance, I met guys in 32 years old with free testosterone in the 200s. And I was like, dude, how did your urologist not freak the fuck out when that happened? He's like, oh, no, she said, I'm in a normal range. You're in a normal range for a 7-year-old man.
She said, I think that a man is, it makes me wonder, like, oh, here's a man who's a gynecologist digging up inside some woman's anatomy. I would think that innately, when a woman is attached to her own body, she can feel her own body, what it's like to be a woman. They would have some natural intuition about it that a man doesn't have. And so a woman who's a urologist I'm thinking that's probably more rare. Like, I don't want a woman sticking a camera up my dick, because that's all they do. And I don't want a woman sticking her finger up my ass. So what's a woman doing being a urologist? Did he mean to say she? Why would a woman want to stick her finger up a man's ass? There's something sadistic about it. There's some misandry there, because why the hell would you ever want to stick your finger up a man's ass? To help people, because I care. Sure, yeah. No, I mean, like, I can't believe that even a man would want to do that.
It's like,
you could pay me $10 million a year. What if it was like I was the digital doctor and they were like, okay, we're going to test you, Paul. We're going to give you a job for $10 million a year. You have to give 10 guys a week a digital exam. That's all the work you have to do. You just have to stick your finger up there and say prostate big, prostate normal, prostate big, 10 times a week, 40 times a month, which would average out to about 480 times a year. Okay? Would I take that job for $10 million? Of course I would. And I'd retire immediately afterwards, but I'd be miserable the entire time. And I wouldn't have the excuse. I'd be like, hey, I'm jamming this up your ass to test for the stupid prostate, see if it's big or not. I'm not doing this for enjoyment. I'm doing it for the money. I care about you, but I'm not doing it because I care about you. I'm just being honest. I'm doing it for the money. It's like people who smoke marijuana and they're like, I'm medicating. You're getting fucking stoned. And so many people have like hidden behind medical marijuana to be like, I'm medicating. I'm not recreating. And I was always like, yeah, I'm fucking recreating. I'm a recreational fucking user. I got that fucking medical card. Yeah, it was valid. I had a medical condition, but I was like, I'm fucking doing it recreationally. Never been dishonest about it. So all I'm saying is, segueing back, I'm not going to stick my finger in a man's ass unless I get paid exorbitantly to do it for real medical purposes. I'm not going to do it just to whore myself. I don't know, like, let me put it this way, okay? If there's the medical reason there, I can say, okay, yes, I did it for $10 million, but there was a legitimate medical reason. If some porn guy comes to me and says, okay, man, I want you to be in my video, and I want you just to stick your finger in this man's ass 480 times in a year, $10 million. Different proposition. Then I can't hide behind helping someone with the excuse I'm helping someone, therefore I'm sticking it in their ass for a large sum of money, but I am not going to do it for pornography reasons. I don't know. I got way sidetracked on this because I actually really wanted to have a serious discussion about testosterone, and here I am talking about fingers and asses. I don't blame these guys. This is where my mind goes. It's my problem. Lord Almighty, God help me.
Range if you want to have sex with your girlfriend. That's ridiculous. And he talked about it. He was like losing like motivation for life. Another thing, Trip, I'm going to say there is a massive amount of men in their 50s committing suicide. This number is
that was
skyrocketing.
concerning
and
too.
I personally believe it has to do with low testosterone. It's just my personal opinion.
I don't think you can just blanket blame testosterone because you have to adapt to the new conditions of life. And so what is it about low testosterone causes depression, or is it just psychologically you're like, I'm not young anymore? And you have to fucking learn to adapt to the new ages of life, okay? The new seasons of life. From a guy who's willing to take $10 million to stick his finger in a dude's ass, 480 dudes' asses in one calendar year for $10 million, I think I am qualified to speak about this. Me and my dumbass shtick. Honestly. So I want people to take me seriously intellectually, and then I go off on a tangent like that. I mean, like, forget me. What's wrong with me? Help me. God, help me.
Your testosterone? Yeah, you're going to go there and they're going to
480 times.
And then they're going to give you two numbers.
Can you imagine every single day? If I was, that would be, on some days, it would be a lot of days. It would be more than 2 a day. It would be like 2 a day at least. I think I would want to get them all done. Would someone pay me to finish the job in like, I think it could be done in a week. I think it could be done in 40 hours, right? So if you take 60, I guess you'd be moving pretty quickly. You'd be like, you'd be able to get a rhythm to it and like make a beat, and there'd be some flagellant sounds, and you could probably make, oh my God. But seriously, let's get it done in a week. I'll get it done in a week for even a smaller amount of money. How about that? Well, let's say $6 million, 480 fingers in the asshole, determining the size of the prostate. And I got to do the math on that, okay? So hold on. Let's come over here, and we're saying, so in 1 week, we want to do, so in 40 hours, that means in 40 hours, hold on, we have to take 480 divided by 40 equals, so you need to do 12 a minute? What the hell's going on here? 40 hours. Okay, so no, let's go like this. We'll tell you how many we have to do a minute if we're going to go. Let's go 40 hours straight without any sleep and do it, okay? So 40 times 60, and that tells you how many minutes you have. That's 2,400 minutes in 40 hours. And so you divide 2,400 by 480 assholes, literal assholes. And I think that's, what? I'm not even understanding the math I'm doing. So I'm just going to shut the hell up and like keep going.
Problem is
okay, but I did say I would do $6 million if we get it all done in 1 week. And so over 5 days, how many people would that be over 5 days? 480 divided by 5 equals 96. And then if you break 96 up over 8 hours, over 5 days, really, you're talking at 8 hours a piece, you'd have to do 96 in a day. Divided by 8, you'd have to do 12 an hour. So every fucking 5 minutes in an hour, you'd have your finger in a new ass. And I think I'd rather get it, and that's long enough time-wise to wash your hands, put on new gloves, get it all over with, and I would make sure there's levity the whole time, like, hey, you're number 420, buddy. Oh, man. God help me. I keep going down this rabbit hole of shtick right now.
Give you your test
numbers. I
wasted
so much time on this.
That has to stop. You really need to get your estrogen levels checked.
Oh, yeah.
Man. There needs to
so he says we got to get our estrogen levels checked as well. I've never heard that. I'm going in on Friday to get my testosterone checked with a lot of other blood tests, PSA and vitamin D, all these sorts of things. And they are not doing estrogen. And so I guess that matters with a man too. Like, do the estrogen test. Makes me very sad.
Like a healthy balance.
I'm not getting a finger in my ass this week, though. And I am going to join my cousin while we go do these blood tests. The one who said to me, Paul, you have to fuck a fat chick, dude. Get your confidence up, dude.
And one of the things is, if you go to a TRT doctor versus going to a urologist, you're going to find that the urologist is just there to keep you healthy, and the TRT doctor wants you to perform. And those are two different things, but they're both doctors, and they're both looking out for your best interest, just in different ways. So this is a huge study of emphasis that I've had over the last couple of years because of the massive change that I've seen in me, and I've seen no.
And what do they give you, a pill, or what do they?
I mean,
what is it?
No, I get
the changes he describes are so fucking tempting. But, like, I want to know more about the downside of it. I think you are more likely to have a heart attack from doing it. That's what I learned years and years ago, that it will increase your likelihood of developing heart disease. So it's like when I hear these guys are doing it, it's like I'm intrigued by the results. I want them to be healthy. I want them to be well. That's honestly true. I appreciate how they inspire people, even. Joking aside. We're not even talking about fingers in the ass right now. I'm serious. I hope that it works for you, and I hope you stay healthy. But I do have concerns about the downside for you guys, because that's what I should come back with. I should talk about the downside and not fantasize and doing shtick about putting my finger in 480 asses in a week for $6 million. That's ridiculous. Oh, God help. Just a little bit more. Oh, we're running out of time, actually. I'm going to wrap this up. I can't believe I fucking went an hour. I really didn't cover everything I want to cover. I have 2 things in the list. Come back over here, and I will say, that's fucking it, people. Did you really make it through that last segment? That might have been the most crass and scatological I've ever been on here. Come on, me. If you like this here, I request that you like the videos, that you share the videos on social media, that you tell your friends, that you put it on the TV in the background when you're vacuuming or washing the windows in your house or scrubbing the floors or scrubbing the toilets, whatever that busy work is, whether you're working in your car, whether you're driving in your car. Maybe there will be an audio component to this eventually. I beseech you all, help me spread the word. Engage with me in comments. As I always freaking say, and I mean it, I actually do mean it. No finger in bottom. Peace be with you all. Anyone want to offer me $6 million for a week of digital prostate tests? Come on, hook me up.